Mount Fuji, Japan's tallest mountain. On August 20th, 2025, I flew to Japan with one goal in mind: to watch the sunrise on the summit of Mount Fuji. For my first time climbing the mountain, I will be tackling the Fuji route. My reason for climbing was inspired by watching both of Mr. Abroad in Japan's video climbing Mount Fuji. Thank you to Abroad in Japan for the inspiration. Now join me as I climb Mount Fuji for the very first time. Starting the trip after landing in Haneda Airport, I took a train to Shinjuku to spend the night relaxing after a 14-hour flight. After checking into my capsule hotel, I stopped by downtown Shinjuku to take a pic of Godzilla and then went to bed. On day 1, I purchased a bullet train ticket to the Shin Fuji station. It only takes a few hours from Tokyo to Shin Fuji, so I enjoyed the long ride with a great scenery from the comfort of my seat. I chose a window seat on the right side because it was where I could see Mount Fuji, but it was cloudy so I could not see it. I was expecting to get a good view of the mountains like this, but I ended up getting this after exiting the train. Once I arrived in Shin Fuji, I checked into my hotel, explored the area for a bit, and then called it a night. Good morning, everyone. It's Jarzis. It is currently almost 6 a.m., about like 5:50-ish. And we are on our way to the Shin Fuji station, where I will pick up my bus ticket to go to the Fuji 5th station route. See you guys there. After arriving at the station way too early, I chilled around the station, observing the view of Mount Fuji. If the view only consists of just clouds and buildings. A few hours passed by and the gift shops finally opened up. I was able to get a few supplies from there, like an oxygen can and a walking stick. Once 10 a.m. hit, I boarded the bus and I was off to Mount Fuji. On the way, I got a better view of the mountain, with the summit peeking out above the clouds. Around noon, I arrived at the 5th station of the Fuji Trail. This trail is supposed to be the shortest but also the toughest trail to hike up the mountain due to the rocky terrain and steep slopes. After searching and stocking on more supplies, it was time to start the climb. Down there is the 6th station. Down there is the 5th. See like the parking lot, roof. Oh, right there with the orange roof and stuff. That's the 5th station we were just at. Oh my god. The view is amazing. Just get that pocket of air seeing some of Japan over the ocean. Being above the clouds was really breathtaking, and that's due to low oxygen as you ascend the mountain. Altitude sickness is a very serious thing when you climb Mount Fuji, which is why I brought the oxygen can. Okay, you see the one layer clouds, and then more layer of clouds up there. Oh my god. We're almost at the 7.5 station. You can just barely see the 8th station too, which is really good. This is the progress we've made so far. Started like 1:30, now almost like an hour and a half in. We're about less than a quarter of a mile to, not less than a quarter of a mile, less than halfway through between the new station and the old 7th station. We got this amazing view. So as you can see, I'm bundled up, but not because it's cold, because the sunlight is like, or the sun is hurting me. My skin, and I don't want to get sunburnt, so I'm covered from head to toe. So not bad. God. Sun really hits you. But I'm at a comfortable point where I'm not too cold, not too hot either, so there's that. As I reached the 8th station, it was time to bust out the oxygen spray and take a quick break. Words cannot describe how good I felt already more than halfway up the mountain and seeing a beautiful view of Japan from there.
So I know it's supposed to be around freezing temperature right now and it's nighttime, but I'm still sweating like hell. I'm so sweaty. My feet is drenched in sweat. So is my back. I feel more hot than cold. Here's hoping I can cool off at the hut. We're basically there. Hoping we can cool off there.
After a long 6-hour hike, I finally reached the 9th station. Waiting for me was a luxurious bed and a meal for a king. If you consider a luxurious bed to be a bunk bed capsule you have to share with 5 people per capsule, and a high quality meal to be just rice and curry. If you get yourself a dinner meal ticket, you just get rice and curry, and the curry was alright, despite not being the biggest fan of curry. After washing up at 8 PM, it was time for a nice long slumber before heading to the summit.
Start to see people are starting to climb up now. It's currently 2 a.m. or almost 2 a.m. Around 1:30 to 2 a.m. People are climbing so we can see the sunrise. My God, I can already see light. Not that light. So I know it's supposed to be colder up here, but I've been stuck in a very hot, stuffy room. And right now I feel very fine. It's so much better.
For breakfast, I had a tasty tempura and udon, and a bento box consisting of rice, sausage, meatball, yellow radish, and a shumai. You can get the bento box if you purchase a breakfast meal ticket. After breakfast, I packed all my things and prepared myself to reach the summit at 3 a.m.
Starting the night climb to the summit so we can go see the sunrise. It's 3:30, I think. Yeah, started a little bit. We started a little bit later than usual. I had to wait for some breakfast. But damn, was it a good breakfast. Look at all the people hiking up there. There's a lot of people who came by. It's gonna be super crowded. You can see some sunlight on the other side of the mountain. We just left station 9.5. Last stop, summit. I really do hope we can get up to the summit before the sun rises. It's currently 4 o'clock. We have an hour to get there before the sun rises. Man, the clock is ticking. We did it. We arrived at the summit of Mount Fuji. Can't believe it. Started like 1:33, maybe? No, definitely like 1:30. More than 12 hours of climbing Mount Fuji with 4 hours of just resting in a hut.
With a few minutes before the sun rises, I quickly made my way to get a better view of the sun with the help of some employees who guided me towards the direction of a large gathering spot to see the sunrise.
Sunrise there? Hi. ありがとうございます。5 minutes? はい。Alright, we made it. Time to wait for the sunrise, which should start in about 20 minutes. Oh, that's beautiful.
I'm not sorry. I finally made it. After a long 8-hour hike, I got to see the sunrise at the summit of Mount Fuji. This climb has been a long and tiring journey, but it was well worth it to just see a sunrise. Sure, you can just look it up online, but it's definitely not the same as in person. I would recommend this to anyone to plan a trip to Japan so you can climb Mount Fuji and experience this amazing feeling. As a special tribute to my first online avatar, I brought something special to commemorate my first time climbing the mountain. After the sunrise, I took a few pictures of the 10th station, I took photos of the crater, and I wandered around the summit for a few hours. Then it was time to tumble my way down to the mountain as my Mount Fuji journey comes to an end. I think the highlight of this whole trip was the scenic view I got from the mountain and witnessing the sunrise at the top. And thus, this concludes my first time climbing Mount Fuji. Even though this was a challenging climb, I still want to come back and do it again next year. There is a saying, a man climbs Mount Fuji once, a fool climbs it twice. I guess I am that fool who would be willing enough to climb it twice. Maybe even more than twice. Thank you guys so much for watching. I would also like to give one huge shout out to Pochamastudios for making this wonderful art piece. If you want to check her stuff out, the links to her art page will be in the description below.